What's up, everybody? Jeffrey Miz with PS Best Friends here, giving you the Black Ops 4 Zombies review. Honestly, this is going to be a tough review. The gameplay, the maps, everything is amazing. Is really great. Some of the best Treyarch has ever put out in the past 10 years. But the issue with reviewing this and, just talking about it is that it's a broken game. This is really, for all intents and purposes, a broken game. It's not finished. It barely runs. Easter eggs have already been changed since launch. A week after launch, they changed steps in the Easter eggs, effectively ruining all the guides that are out there right now because of, I don't know if they're glitches, if they thought, oh, wait, hold on, maybe it'll be better if we change this step to this, which is unprecedented, by the way. An Easter egg has never been changed in this way that it is currently being changed. There are little steps that are totally being added on. But when you do get to play, when the game isn't crashing on you, when the game isn't randomly disconnecting you from your friends, when the game is working, it is fantastic. Let's run through all the maps. So we got 2 maps from the new storyline, the Chaos storyline. You got Shaw, Bruno, Diego, and Scarlet. Cool characters. I don't really love them as much as I loved the original cast when I first played Kino and Derice and all that, really like when their characters started getting more fleshed out. There's definitely room for them to grow, but Treyarch seems to be doing the same thing where they did with the Ether storyline, Richtofen, Tank Dempsey, Takeo, and Nikolai, where they're giving you piecemeal information and they're delivering the story in scrolls that you could pick up, offhanded dialogue, which is great, which is how, zombie storyline has always been told. But the difference is, when the zombie story started in Shinonuma and, Derice, and then really ramped up in Black Ops, it was still pretty much a side mode. And it was kind of like, this is a horror mode first and foremost, but we're going to add story for the ones who want to play the story. Without a campaign this year, but without Black Ops 4 having a campaign, I feel like the Chaos storyline should have picked up on that, should have been more of a story-oriented mode, not in the respect that it should be, campaign levels and your traditional stuff like that, but it should have just been told in a more coherent way, like keep the Ether storyline vague and mysterious and told through complex ciphers, keep that. But I just feel like if you're introducing a new team and a new storyline and a new universe, essentially, with the Chaos storyline, it should be more welcoming and should be easier to understand. And with the complicated storyline on display here with the Chaos, it's not enough to care about them. So while I think they're cool characters, and while the endings of both the Voyage and 9 Easter eggs have me asking questions, they're not really questions I care for the answers to, Like with the Blood of the Dead ending, I need to know that answer. I need to know, spoilers, I need to know what they're going to do with Monty. What's Primus Richtofen up to? What's post-Revelation Primus Richtofen up to, the one from the Great War? And the reason I care so much about that ending is because I've been with these characters for so long. So that mystery, that huge cliffhanger means more to me because I've been with them for almost 10 years now, essentially. Whereas the Chaos storyline, I've been with them for 7 days, and they have 2 issues of a comic book, and I don't really know what Treyarch expects from the community to think of the Chaos storyline, honestly, because it seems like there are going to be at least 2 more maps from each storyline, and there's only 4 maps in the season pass, so that's 2 maps from Chaos, 2 maps from Ether, and so Chaos only ends up with 4 maps overall in their whole story, and maybe that continues into the next game. I just think it was both a good decision to create this new storyline, but also kind of weird that they decided to stick around with Ether as well. They haven't made up their mind, honestly, on what they want to do with zombies. Moving on to the maps themselves, though, let's start off with 9. 9 is that gladiator map you see here right now. Pretty much, it's a coliseum in the center, and then on the sides, there's 2 on each side, temples, god temples, and they're both visually amazing as well as a very good environment for zombies. Zombies requires a certain type of map, and not too close quarters and not too expanse, because you can never, if you have too much space in a zombie area, like I've played many custom maps that do this, it's too easy and it's just boring, with a bunch of zombies coming at you, you can just run either way and form a train. It's very simple. But when you have it too close together, like Voyage, which I'll get to in a second, it's just not a fun experience because you're just constantly bumping along walls and hallways. So what 9 does, I think, is really good. You have a lot of space in the middle. You have a lot of space in the bottom. Each altar area for each god has a lot of space as well for solid trains. Overall, I think if you're a beginner to zombies, if you've never played a zombie map, if you're a light zombie player, even if you're a hardened zombie player like me, you'll enjoy 9. And quickly to talk about the Easter egg on the map, this is the only main Easter egg I've completed so far. I have not done the Voyage or Blood Easter eggs, though I have watched them in full. The 9 Easter egg is a really great Easter egg quest. If not a little too easy at parts, but I think that goes in line with the whole beginner motif of this map. I'd recommend anyone who hasn't done an Easter egg before, definitely look up a guide for 9 and try it out for themselves. I enjoyed it. The boss fight was a little easy, but wild and fun nonetheless. Moving on to the other Chaos storyline map, Voyage of Despair. This one takes place on the Titanic, and while conceptually cool, I think this is probably my least favorite map in Black Ops 4 so far. It's just too close quarters. I've never been a fan of tight maps. So you got your like tight maps like 5, which is, you know, all in just one building. Call of the Dead was it was either you're freezing your balls off in water or you're right next to George Romero. It was a very claustrophobic map. And so that's kind of the case here again. Some people like it. This is kind of a preference thing. Like, I have a lot of friends that like Call of the Dead's their favorite map. So, and they enjoy this one a lot, of course. But I feel like it could have just been laid out better in some way. I mean, I feel like the complex nature definitely does play into the map design, but it just gets annoying when you're like, oh, I have to go to the lower grand staircase. Oh, where am I going? Oh, I got to go up here. Oh, I have to go to the cargo. Oh, is that in the front of the boat, or does I have to go through the third class berths and then go under the provisions? And it's just like everything stacked up on top of each other. You could look at a map that are next to every mystery box location, which kind of actually does help you out, like when you're trying to figure out where to go. But overall, this isn't my favorite map. This is a good map still. It definitely is a good map. But I just don't see myself replaying it all that often once I finish the Easter egg. Now moving on to the Ether storyline maps, we have Blood of the Dead, the Alcatraz map, a remake of Mob of the Dead. Way more than just your standard remake though, honestly. It adds an entire new section of the map, as well as an entirely new story. This time you're playing as the Primus crew, so the characters from Origins from Black Ops 2, whereas last time you were playing as mobsters. They also changed a lot of those gameplay specific things from Mob of the Dead, so when you had the afterlife system in Mob of the Dead and you go around and zap things as a ghost, you now use your spectral shield to do that, which I think is a really cool alternative, honestly, because at first I'm like, oh wait, there's not that afterlife system, how are they going to do that? Then I built the shield and I hit L2 and I looked through it, I'm like, wow, that is smart. As far as the main prison is concerned, it's pretty much the same exact thing from Mob, so if you like the Mob layout, you'll like this. I do enjoy this map. It took me a couple matches to fully remember it, you know, I haven't played since 2013, but once I got used to it, it all came back to me. The new area, the west side of the prison, is really open and cool. It's a little separated from the rest of the map, but they have a lot of these fast travel locations where like you could zoom under a whole fiery tunnel, which kind of speeds things up, but still, the map does kind of, like, yeah, I'm always taking these little mental quizzes whenever I'm playing it, where it's like, alright, I'm currently in cafeteria, I need to get to Warden's house. What is the fastest area? Gotta walk up the stairs, walk down Michigan Avenue, and walk down the hall, you know? Like, it kind of, like, makes you feel like you have this mastery of the map, like, when it all finally clicks, but it's one of those things where, if you stop playing for a couple months, you're gonna lose it, you know, like it's only on your brain like while you're playing it. But either way, I love it. The ending cutscene is super emotional if you get the chance to watch it or play it. Also, if you have the chance to be as invested into zombies as I am. But this map is definitely a thumbs up. I'd rank it at number 2 out of all the maps. So far we have 9 up top, Blood of the Dead at 2, and Voyage under that. And let's see where the next map, Classified, is going to rank. So Classified is the remake of 5. This time you're playing as Ultimus crew, which are the characters who went through the storyline from Shinonuma to Moon, up until Moon. So these are your stereotypical Tank Dempsey, Takeo, Richtofen, and Nikolai. Nikolai's always talking about his vodka. Tank is way more, oorah, freak maggots. I love it. Ultimus, of course, I think is... It seems like they've gone pretty underrated in the zombies community. I always thought they'd be everyone's favorites just because, they're the first crew. But it seems like people are way more into Primus these days, which are the Origins crew, which are, the younger guys, I guess. They've gone through the Black Ops 3 storyline. But playing as Ultimus in the Pentagon is amazing. I love it. Just like Blood of the Dead, the map is bigger than the map it's based on. So there's, I think, 4 new rooms, maybe 3 new rooms that you could explore. They also added the shield, of course. The Pack-a-Punch area is Area 51 for Moon. When I jumped in there for the first time, I was blown away. This is such a throwback for zombie fans. We haven't been here since, 2011, really. I mean, if you don't count Zombie Chronicles. But in terms of storyline continuity, this is the only Easter egg that hasn't yet been finished as of this recording. I am so intrigued in how the story is going to end. The story developments so far with the radios and Classified have been amazing. I really love all the references to Black Ops 1. You have pictures on the wall and other screens of all the old maps and stuff, and how it ties into the Ascension group and Cornelius, Peter McCade. This is way deep zombie lore. Either way, this map rests at number 3 on my lists for the ranking of Black Ops 4 maps. So we have 9, Blood of the Dead, Classified, and Voyage to Despair. Moving on to the new systems the game adds, starting with the perk system. You could choose 4 perks in your creator class and pretty much where they will be on the map, which station it will be at, which point of interest they'll be at. And I like it. At first I didn't, because it's like, oh, where's Jug? Where's Double Tap? Where's Speed Cola? The maps I've kind of relied on over the years. But as they updated the game and they changed the health from 150 to 200 within the first day, or I think within the first 24 hours, which is kudos to them for the quick response time on that. But with the 200 HP, I don't really find a need for Jug anymore, which is a good solution to that. Double Tap, I would like, but when you upgrade your gun more than once, it gets more damage, so that kind of balances that out. And I've noticed when I upgrade my guns as well, they reload faster. So my major issues with not having the 3 OG perks at launch has kind of remedied since I've been playing more, since over the past couple days. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this new system. I like it. I actually do enjoy it. However, what I don't enjoy, what I hate, what I think is predatory, what I think is bullshit, what I think is stupid as fuck, the Elixir and Talisman system. This has potential. This has so much potential. This could be an amazing system. The Elixirs are the 4 what they used to be Gobblegums in Black Ops 3. That was not the greatest system, but it worked. I thought it was bullshit as well because, it's still very microtransaction based, but it wasn't that bad. Didn't really feel that shoehorned into the thing. It always felt like, oh, you don't have to get a Gobblegum, or hey, you could, it's a machine if you want to pay the money or if you want to get one free in the beginning of the round. But here, it's on the UI the whole time. You can't get that away. That's going to be there the whole time, the D-pad 4 thing. While the classic ones are useful, the ones you get from microtransactions... Well, let me hold my tongue. The microtransactions aren't in the game yet, but you could just clearly see how the new resource, which they keep freaking having stupid elemental names for these things. I'm just going to call them the Black Ops 3 name, Liquid Divinium, which is, pretty much a premium currency, which you get for playing games. The issue is, you unlock Liquid Divinium, or the resource, at such a slow rate. So you don't have a big pool of premium elixirs or even talismans. I've been playing for 25 hours now in this game, and I only have 10 talismans. These talismans, what they are is they essentially start you with an inherent perk that lasts throughout the whole game. So keeping a certain perk for the whole game, quick revive or something, you can never lose it, or your shield always has more durability, or even reduced pack-a-punch cost throughout the whole game. Really neat stuff, honestly. But just the way they're doled out and the way you get them is so slow, and it's just random. I mean, it's like this is loot boxes in the progression. Right now, yeah, there is no way to purchase them with real money, but that doesn't make it any better. It's still baked into the economy of the game, and it doesn't work. It's not fun. I don't use my talismans because is this going to be an intense game, or is the game going to crash right now? I don't use my premium elixirs because I don't know, is this like it's consumables. So once I use them, they're gone, and I don't know if this game is going to be a legit run. I'll throw down some of the epic or the highest rarity elixirs if it's going to be an Easter egg run, but I don't know if I'm going to use it, and then the game crashes, and now I lost it. Now I'm out of that thing that I only had 5 of. And I don't know. It's a really bad system. Either increase the rate you get the liquid diviniums at, so you have way more elixirs and way more talismans, even though it's still random which ones you get. You'll just have more of them, or do something, Treyarch, because the way it works now is bad. It's no fun hoarding your 6 elixirs for a rainy day when you should just be either not worrying about them or just playing them. And that's why I say they have good potential, because the classic ones, the ones that are free, the ones that have unlimited usage, I'm playing all the time. Like, one of them's nowhere but there, and it teleports me to a down teammate, and I could revive them, regardless of where they are on the map real quick. And it's like, you pull off these really clutch moments and stuff, and they're fun to use. So I don't see why I can't use the majority, I think more than 50% of them are locked away in loot boxes that you only get. Honestly, I don't know the exact number, but it feels like I'm only getting 3 new ones from the loot boxes every 5 hours of play. And it's just, the numbers just don't add up, Mason. Either way, with that said, I'm going to end this off with bitching about the crashes once again. Crashing in any game shouldn't happen. It's inexcusable. A game crashing once or twice within 30 hours isn't just, oh, well, it only crashed once or twice. No, it shouldn't crash. Games shouldn't crash. We shouldn't expect games to crash a few times. We should expect games to crash never. I don't know why we're in this new era of gaming where people seem to be okay with a game that crashes a few times. It's ridiculous. If it crashes once, it's an issue. Especially in zombies, where you could sink 2 to 3 hours into a match. 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours, doing a whole Easter egg, and randomly, with no control that you have, it just crashes, and you lose all that, and you have to start at the beginning. Like, imagine doing a whole Destiny raid, and you're at the last boss, and you die, and there's no checkpoints. You just have to start back at the beginning. Imagine just losing 3 hours of progress for no reason, and it's not like, oh, this is annoying because I have to reboot the game. You lose all of it, because zombie game, you have to start over from square one. And that's not even to bring up all the connection issues this game has as well. I keep getting this Silver Wolf error since launch night whenever I'm trying to play when my LAN cable's plugged into my PS4. Then all I have to do is unplug it, go Wi-Fi, and it works. Then randomly, I'll plug it back in because I want to play Destiny wired in, and then I jump into Black Ops 4 and it'd work. And then the day after, it wouldn't work with LAN. And the joke is, this is a reoccurring issue throughout several Call of Duties. You Google this error code, you'll see a Black Ops 2 forum post about the same thing, and people still having the same issues back in 2012. So I don't know why this isn't fixed, and that's not even to mention the rubber banding I have so often on random matches. Could I be public? It could be a good guy having a host. I could be having the host. I don't know. This game, the server issues is just whack. And that's not even also to talk about the 20 hertz tick rate in multiplayer, but this is a zombie review. With all that said, when you're playing the game, when the game's not crashing, when there's not rubber banding, when you're not getting booted out of the match, this is awesome. This is zombies at its best. I'm loving where the story's going, where the gameplay's going. It needs a lot of fixes, but the core experience as it is right now is amazing. Highly recommend it to anyone. I mean, I like to think that if I say, oh no, the game's in a bad state right now, don't buy it, as if that's going to do anything to Activision, as if they're going to change anything. So while it's complete bullshit that it's crashing this much and having this many issues, I obviously could see past them and see the game for what it is and still say this is the best zombies experience since Black Ops 1. Thank you for listening and watching as well to PS Best Friend's zombie review of Call of Duty Zombies.